If you crave a story packed with betrayal, cunning revenge, and a fierce woman taking back her power, the Bitter Brew is for you. Mira Thorne faces a husband's sinister plot to sabotage her with the spiked coffee and steal their empire. But when she flips the script in a high-stakes showdown, the tables turn in a way that'll leave you cheering. Get ready for a thrilling ride of deception and triumph that hits harder than a double espresso. Mira Thorne leaned over the kitchen counter, her coffee cooling in its ceramic mug. Her phone buzzed, and she glanced at it, expecting a work email. Instead, it was a notification from her husband Eric's phone, left open beside the sink. A text glowed on the screen. "She'll crash and burn at that meeting. Then we're free to take over." It was from Lila, Eric's assistant, with a winking emoji. Mira's blood ran cold. For 6 months, she poured everything into the pitch for Zenith Solutions, a deal that could skyrocket their consulting firm, Apex Insights. She and Eric had built it from nothing in Seattle, her crafting every strategy, him sealing deals with his charm. But this? Betrayal. She scrolled up, heart pounding, reading months of messages plotting to oust her after the deal, mocking her late-night prep. She thinks she's the star. Tomorrow we show them she's nothing. Mira's hand shook, but she steadied herself as Eric's footsteps approached. She locked his phone and smiled. "Ready for the big day?" she asked, voice honey-sweet. "Born ready," he grinned, oblivious. Morning came sharp and tense. Mira, in a crisp blazer, reviewed her flawless presentation. Zenith's team expected perfection, and she'd deliver. Eric, in his tailored suit, hummed as he prepared coffee. "For you, love," he said, sliding her mug across the counter with a smile too tight. Mira's instincts screamed. She sipped, tasting nothing off, but his eyes lingered too long. "Thanks," she said, then excused herself to check her notes. In the bathroom she swapped their mugs, her pulse racing. Eric returned, took a long gulp from what he thought was his coffee, and nodded. "Let's do this." Mira activated a discreet recording app on her phone. The meeting loomed, and with it, her plan. At 10 a.m., Zenith's executives filled the Zoom screen. CEO Clara Holt, CFO James Lynn, and 2 investors. Mira opened with confidence, outlining Apex's strategy to boost Zenith's market share. Eric chimed in, but 20 minutes in, his words faltered. "Our data shows," he blinked, rubbing his forehead. A tremor shook his hand as he reached for his mug again. Clara's brow furrowed. "Eric, you okay?" she asked. Mira seized the moment. "He's been burning the midnight oil," she said smoothly. "Let me take it from here." She dove into the slides, her analysis razor-sharp, addressing Zenith's pain points with surgical precision. Eric's speech slurred faintly, his face paling. The investors leaned in, captivated by Mira's command. Eric tried to interrupt, but a clumsy fumble with his mouse froze his screen. "Tech glitch," Mira said, sharing her screen seamlessly. "Let's continue." Mira powered through, her voice steady, her data ironclad. Clara nodded, impressed. James scribbled notes. Eric, now visibly unsteady, excused himself, mumbling about needing air. Mira's heart raced. This was her moment. "Our implementation plan," she said, clicking to a timeline she'd perfected, "delivers 15% growth in 6 months. The investors were hooked. As the call ended, Clara said, "Mira, this is exceptional. We'll follow up soon." Eric stumbled back, confused. "What happened?" he slurred. "You pushed too hard," Mira said, feigning concern. "Rest. I've got this." Post-meeting, she emailed her lawyer, Sarah Klein, attaching the recording and screenshots of Eric's texts with Lila. She secured business records and opened a solo account, transferring her contributions. Eric's plan to sabotage her had backfired. He'd sip his own poison. 3 months later, Mira sat in her new office, Apex Insights now solely hers. The Zenith contract was signed, delivering record profits. Divorce proceedings were swift. The evidence, Eric's text, the recording, a toxicology report showing a sedative, crushed his defense. Lila was blacklisted in Seattle's consulting scene. Mira hired 2 sharp analysts, and Apex thrived, landing new clients off Zenith's success. As she reviewed glowing reports, Mira smiled. Eric had thought he'd ruin her, but his spiked coffee had spiked his own career. She'd turned his betrayal into her victory, proving she was the true force behind Apex. The future was hers, and it tasted sweeter than any coffee. If you like this story, subscribe, like, and share to Stories by Creator YouTube channel.